Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam and welcome to the Horror Movie Iceberg podcast where myself and Russell Howell watch disturbing horror movies until we tap out. And Russell's been on pins and needles, not because of the movies we're talking about, but because his Guardians are now in overtime as we're recording this.
No, the 49ers are in overtime. The Guardians lost earlier today because they stink.
I'm a Jags fan, so I
But yeah, looking forward to talking about we don't have to do any more quarantine movies, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, we have been in the rec quarantine quagmire for quite a while now, and like I talked about with the last Horror Movie Iceberg podcast, all throughout the month of October on this channel, to kind of coincide with Scary Mania here on the channel, we're just going to be doing all Horror Movie Iceberg for all of October, which means that you'll be getting a new Horror Movie Iceberg episode every Friday, including Halloween Day. So stay tuned for all of that. But we're going to be ending the quarantine movies this time. And then we're going to be talking about, in my opinion, one of the most underrated films of a director who makes a lot of crap but has made a lot of treasure at the same time, in M. Night Shyamalan and The Visit. We'll get to that. If you're listening on Spotify, 5 stars, we'd appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that as well. But let's finish off another franchise. Let's talk about Quarantine 2 Terminal. This was directed by John Pogue. It's Pogue. I'm going with Pogue. I don't think his last name is that toy from the 90s where like it was given out to kids. But he would later go on to direct a movie called The Quiet Ones, which was released by my beloved Hammer Studios. And this is the only direct sequel to Quarantine, and it tells the story of a mysterious virus breaking out on an airplane mid-flight. And really, that's all you need to know. This, we both kind of left Quarantine kind of cold. Like, that was just pretty much the Americanized Taco Bell version of Rec. If Rec was like Birria Street tacos, this was like the Doritos Locos tacos. Like, not that there's necessarily anything wrong with the latter, but it's just wasn't the same. Quarantine 2, however,
no,
I liked a little more, but I'm glad it's over.
I would say more like maybe Temu Rec would be Quarantine.
That's a good point.
But yeah, okay, Terminal. I'm like, well, wait a minute. So we spent 15, 20 minutes on the plane. I'm like, this is a fantastic idea. If we could keep it that way, then obviously they emergency land because the one passenger is infected and goes crazy and they have to make an emergency landing. And now we are in the terminal for the rest of the film. We're just like, oh, we had a great potential there. I thought that'd been really awesome because there's really nowhere to run. There's nowhere to go. And I think that would have made it a lot more scary, a lot more realistic and really scary. So I think, they really wasted an opportunity there.
Like, you can't step out of the airplane because it's mid-flight. It's like a Goldfinger situation where like Goldfinger got sucked out of the plane at the end. Like, you're literally stuck there. It's like that movie with Liam Neeson called Nonstop that I remember, but no one else does.
Oh yeah, he was a air marshal.
He was a U.S. air marshal. I remember that movie. Yes. So,
yep.
Yeah, it started off hot with the airplane aspect of it all. I'm like, this is cool because I mean, Rec 4 took place on a boat, and that movie was not good at all. But I mean, with an airplane, you could do so much with it. But as soon as they land, I'm like, well, there goes all that. Like, you could have done so much with the plane premise. You're stuck with these people, and it's like you could do tell smaller story, not anthology, but smaller stories on this plane. I don't know. I could be thinking way too deep into it.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I think we really wasted an opportunity there. I think that you have this plane, you have this like claustrophobic, almost snakes on a plane-esque type film, and you just kind of waste it after 15 minutes. Granted, yeah, what are you going to do with the infection, obviously, but then there's that mystery of like the one person they subdue or whatever. Okay, so then what happens? It's like a waiting game to see who gets it next or something. You know what I mean? Like at least keep you on your pin, like keep you on the edge of your seat a little bit more than obviously going to the terminal where it's just all this running around. And yes, we have to have night vision because continuity with night vision and the cameras, and we have to have that in here too. So yeah, we wasted a really good opportunity, I think, there.
You could tell this was ultra low budget. I mean, Screen Gems didn't even have anything to do with this one. It was all just like it was another like smaller division, and like low budget horror can be great. I mean, we're going to be covering some later on down the road, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, like you could just feel like they were stretching the dollar bills until George Washington was tapping out.
Yeah, or until he was like unrecognizably not George Washington anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really wasted some opportunity, I think, like I said, like beating a dead horse. I just think that if we would have just kept it in the air, I think we would have been better off. But I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I did like the one scene, though, with the night vision where.
Yeah, this is pretty forgettable. It's got some good moments and moments I'm like, okay, if you're afraid of flying, then this movie's definitely not for you. But at the same time, like I said, could have been something, but just was pretty much nothing. Not the worst, not unwatchable, but just yeah, what a way to go. Like started off with the highs of wreck and then just like ended with not even a whimper, but like the sound of like a deflating whoopee cushion, like a like something like that.
Yeah, very just very disheartening. You expected more. You see why the American, obviously the American franchise of Quarantine kind of fizzled out after this. You have one theatrical release and then one kind of forgettable, obviously direct to DVD or whatever the hell it was at the time release, and it just kind of fell flat after that.
But we've crossed off another franchise on the iceberg. We have now done Paranormal Activity, and now we have done Rec/Quarantine. We won't have to do another franchise. I mean, if you want to count Unfriended, we've got another one coming up. But Unfriended's literally 2 movies, which I don't think counts. Franchise is like 3 or more, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we don't have to cover another franchise again until we get to VHS. But I'm looking forward to that. But that's a little further down the road. We have now a one and done movie, but a movie that I love with my whole heart, warts and all. It is The Visit.
Would you mind getting inside the oven to clean it?
Stop! Now, stop!
The Visit was directed by M. Night Shyamalan. We all know who he is. It was released in 2015. It starred Olivia DeJonge, Ed Oxenbould, Deanna Dunnigan, Catherine Hahn, and others. And for all intents and purposes, this was M. Night Shyamalan's comeback film. We'll talk about that in a second. But it tells the story of 2 kids whose mom, played by Catherine Hahn, sends them to meet their grandparents. They've never met them. In the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Let's just say it's Pennsylvania. The grandparents initially are very nice. You know, the grandmother bakes, the grandfather like chops wood and has, grandfatherly hobbies. What's the worst that can happen? Well, the grandmother starts walking at night, and it just gets crazier and crazier from there. So I don't want to turn this into the M. Night Shyamalan review podcast, though that would be a good idea for the future. But the 2010s were not kind to M. Night Shyamalan. Like his previous 4 movies leading up to this were, and I kid you not, The Lady in the Water, The Happening, The Last Airbender, and After Earth. All terrible for extremely different reasons. But any cred that M. Night Shyamalan had with the movie going public was well spent by 2015. So this movie's kind of a miracle. It's severe, it's low budget, it's found footage, but it's Shyamalan doing what I think Shyamalan does best. When he goes the tension route and the suspense route, I think he really succeeds. I've loved this movie. It's very Shyamalan. It's very weird, but also it's kind of why I weirdly find it charming.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he was 0 for 4 prior to, and a lot of people had him written off, including myself. I mean, I wasn't a fan of, Lady in the Water was, The Happening was kind of confusing. I mean, these are movies I'd have to revisit. Last Airbender I had watched for the first time recently, and I was unimpressed with that. After Earth wasn't that good either. So yeah, there was a lot of people that had him written off, especially when you have The Sixth Sense, you have Signs, you have The Village, which is serviceable enough. I just feel like you lose steam and you lose faith. People lose faith when you put out like shit products. And I think this movie was completely surprisingly, a home run. And I really enjoyed this film. This movie puts the tension on there. There's that twist that he's so known for that you're not expecting at all. I think it's set up perfectly.
Y'all want to know how good Sixth Sense is? It was nominated for Best Picture and it almost won. So that's how good Sixth Sense was. I covered it last year for the 99 Project and I forgot how good that movie was. But story for another time. Point is, The Visit was exactly what Shyamalan needed to do. Like, Jason Blum, it's not a perfect producer. He's had a lot of flops lately. But he gave Shyamalan like a help up. It being like, he gave Shyamalan free reign to do like whatever he wanted within the Blumhouse universe, of course.
Yeah.
And like I said, the movie's very weird, especially the ending, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
It's got the Shyamalan isms aplenty. The kids are kind of weird sometimes, but when the movie's on, like when it's really on its game, I love it. I love every minute of it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think the thing I like the most is the twist, and I totally forgot about it when I was watching it. I kind of remembered it, then I'm like, oh crap! I'm like, I totally forgot about it. So it was really cool to get that and like just watch it, like, damn, like this is like really really great. The way he keeps you on the edge of your seat this whole entire film, and this movie shot for cheap. So this movie, obviously Blumhouse's recipe for profit. Obviously, they shoot things for dirt cheap. Turns out to be, hits usually. And like I said, this really kind of helped solidify and put, Shyamalan back on the map. And I don't think we get Split. I don't know if we get Split,
No.
Especially if that's the case. Obviously, Glass was trash, but I'm saying if we don't get Split, and Split was fantastic, like one of his like really great films. So yeah.
I recently rewatched Split to prepare for a trivia match. I saw it in theaters, not having seen Unbreakable, which means seeing Bruce Willis made no sense to me.
Yeah,
but
you have to watch.
Knowing what that leads to, I'm like, this was just fantastic.
Especially when if you saw Unbreakable beforehand and weren't expecting it, like myself, you're like, holy shit, this is just amazing. This is amazing stuff. So yeah.
Literally, the guy in front of me was like, oh my God, it's Unbreakable. I'm like, wait, what? And then I literally had to look it up and be like, what is Unbreakable? Oh, like I had never seen it up to that point. Unbreakable, a masterpiece in my opinion.
Very underrated film. I really enjoy that. It's just a shame that Glass couldn't live up to the hype, because I think that would have been fantastic to knock that out if it was like done even moderately well. I just think that the movie was a complete miss, and it was very unfortunate.
Yes, but I like these kids though. I think the kids did a great job. Like Olivia DeJonge and Ed Oxenbould, I think both did a great job. I've heard some people say that like Tyler is too weird. I'm like, yeah, he's like 8 or 9. Yeah. Like I work in a library where there are 8 and 9-year-olds all the time. They're kind of weird sometimes. It's just the thing that happens. Like they're growing up, they don't know any better.
Yeah,
like,
they don't know who they're going to be or what they want to be. Yeah.
He raps about pineapple upside down cake, and I'm just like,
yes. You stopped them. Sorry. Oh, yes, we won. Yes. All right. Sorry.
Russell's a happy camper right now.
Oh, that's awesome. They went for it on 4th down in overtime, and we stuffed them. Oh, that's great. Big win. Huge win. All right. Good stuff. All right. You can cut that out. Sorry.
he's rapping about pineapple upside down cake, and
Yeah.
it's very Shyamalan in that it's awkward and kind of cringe, but with this, it just weirdly makes sense, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, because the kid has he wants to impress people. That's his whole niche, right? He wants to impress people with his like vanilla ice raps. And I think it's charming enough though, because you can buy it. You see an 8 or 9 year old, hey, we're gonna impress grandma in the kitchen with our raps. Give me something to rap about. You know what I mean? And even at the end of the film, where they have at the end of the film, he does a rap for the girls, kind of talking about the whole situation, everything that had happened or whatever. And I thought that was even funny too. But yeah, I mean, the brother and sister have a really good chemistry with one another. They play well off of one another. They banter back and forth like siblings do. I think I think it's put together pretty well. And the grandparents, like, man, definitely shot in Philadelphia though, because all of his stuff shot around the Philadelphia area. Shyamalan is a big Philadelphia. He's from the Philly area, so yeah.
He definitely took over the territory that George A. Romero left behind, because George A. Romero was born and lived in Pennsylvania all of his life.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, obviously, with Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
In the Monroeville area, yeah. It's huge.
I can't remember the name of the town where The Crazies was shot, but The Crazies is mad underrated too.
Yeah. Even the remake was pretty solid too.
Have not seen it. I will one day. But
not bad.
To your point about the grandparents, Peter McRobbie, who plays Pop Pop, he's the priest in Marvel's Daredevil, like the Netflix one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's where I recognized him. He has a long career. Like, he was in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Brokeback Mountain, and like he's been everywhere in small.
Oh my God!
You would never picture him in.
Was he Jack Twist's dad, or was he Jack's dad? At the end of the film,
he's got
at the end of the film when Ennis comes up to get his to see his shirt or whatever in the bag. That has to be him in there then.
Must be.
Shit, wow. Okay.
Point is like it's full of actors here that you would never be like, he was in that, and you're like, oh yeah, he was. Like, even Catherine Hahn, who was, I mean, she had not gotten into the MCU yet, but she had been in a few things up to that point, and so
she was in Bad Moms. I think she was in Bad Moms right around there. I think that kind of
same year or the year after.
Because I was going to say that she really got into comedy, and I think that's what kind of like elevated her, Catherine Hahn's character.
Point is, smaller actors, but they were just perfect for their respective roles. And I mean, I don't think we can talk about this movie without going into the twist. So let's just get into it now. The movie's 10 years old. Wow, it's 10 years old.
Obviously, if you haven't seen it, watch it before you watch the rest of this or hear the rest of this.
Like, spoiler warning here going forward.
Yeah.
Basically, the big twist is that the grandparents are not the actual grandparents. They're these strangers who, like, the mom, like, sent the kids to. And Russell, I swear, as long as I live, one of the scariest Shyamalan moments that no one talks about is the video call where they're like, Nana and Pop-Pop are weird. They're doing all these crazy things. And then Catherine Hahn is just this look on her face. And it's just like, those aren't your grandparents.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then who are they then? It's low-key terrifying to me because I don't have kids. I'd like to have kids one day myself.
Yeah.
But if I were to like send my kids to a strange place without like knowing where I'm sending to, I'd be horrified.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It doesn't make this character a bad mom. I think she's a great mom. But just she was led to believe that these were her parents because there was an established thing where she had a big falling out with her parents and she never forgave them.
So obviously you turn a blind eye as a viewer. You're like, okay, wait a minute. So she hasn't seen him in a while. So yeah, obviously it's been some time. You know what I mean? So you can believe it's believable.
You're so wrapped up in the emotion of like, can this family get back together, that you're caught off guard by like the, wait, what? These aren't the takes me aback like every single time.
Yeah, I think that one, and I think another scary part of the film. Give me the one where she's crawling underneath the house where they're playing that fucking hide and seek. You tell me that's not terrifying when she's like spider walking down there. That is freaky. Where you just see her long hair and you
Yeah.
hear, oh my lord, that's scary. That gives me goosebumps thinking about it. But
And
yeah,
and then the actual ending happens, and I can't describe the whole thing because it's so crazy, but I'll just describe some of it. Basically, she makes these cookies and she like force feeds it like to herself. They play Yahtzee. It's very awkward. And there's a running subplot where Pop Pop is like he's getting incontinent and he like has to wear Depends. And he's very ashamed of it so much that he burns the diapers like in like a field. Like this is established long beforehand. So while he's like playing mental games with Tyler, an accident happens and he shoves the diaper into his face. I kid you not. This is a thing that actually happened. And for some, this is like, okay, this movie's broken. I can't take it seriously anymore. There's enough of it to where I'm going like, okay, I'm on board with it, but I'm still just like, Shyamalan, what were you thinking? What were you writing? Like, what happened that day? And like, and then Pop Pop shoves it into his face. It was just so bizarre to me. It's still bizarre to me 10 years later.
yeah. I mean, I think it's funny because you don't really realize why. Like, you see the grandfather going into the barn and shutting the door, and you're like, okay, I mean, what are we hiding? We're hiding something, you know what I mean? And you realize, okay, yeah, he's embarrassed by it, so obviously he wants to kind of like get rid of it so nobody sees it in the house, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. Then my other question is, if he's so incontinent, how long were they there? Because obviously, if they killed the grandparents, because you see the grandparents' bodies down in the basement, how long were they there?
That's what I want to know. Another moment that kind of is like, oh, what are we doing here? Is when he's like cleaning his gun, and it is like
Oh, it looks like he's going to kill himself. Yeah.
yeah, it's so like even when I was younger, I was like, what am I watching with this? Because I actually saw this in theaters because Shyamalan, I was like, okay, this is going to be a car crash. I want to see a car crash, and I was like, wow, that was actually good. But side story. Point is, this movie has a lot of like little things to where it's like you think it's one thing, and then it completely is like a completely different thing. But it all works.
Yeah, I mean that's what I appreciate about Shyamalan. Obviously, even spoiler alert with The Village if you guys haven't seen it, obviously, but like that whole entire premise that it's in modern time. Holy shit! The first time I watched that, I was like, what? Like this is all an act. I'm like, this is crazy. Like the monsters to keep everybody in this colony. I'm like, this is amazing. This is crazy. I remember hating it when I first saw it. And then I rewatched it. I was like, shit, this is really actually kind of brilliant if you think about it. Just that whole entire, gambit of like keeping these people back in the ways of like the 1700s or whatever. And it's literally modern times. Crazy. I just think, but that's the thing. When you have made such hits like Signs and Sixth Sense, you know what I mean? Like, coming out of the hitting this out of the park when no one's even expecting this one at all. You flopped the last 4 films of the decade, and then you hit this one, and I think this one's so underrated. It's mad underrated. I think it's effective enough in the storytelling. It's effective enough with the suspense. The acting it doesn't have your bigger names like some of your other Shyamalan films have, but I still think that you get pretty good performances out of everybody that's involved with this, especially child actors, which I think he has a niche for, because obviously Haley Joel Osment, and even in Signs, like I think he just has a niche for some of that and some of the films that he does make.
Couldn't agree more. I'm going to give this an amazing grade. Of all Shyamalan's films, I feel like this is the most underrated and the most misunderstood. It's
100%.
not. It's not good as Sixth Sense or Unbreakable, but
Yeah.
after like a decade of just like 4 crappy movies in a row, this was what Shyamalan needed. This was how Stella got her groove back. This was how Night got his groove back.
For sure.
For a couple years. Like Glass was not good, and like Trap I did not care for.
I like Trap. I
And
just wish the
Knight
thing about
Knight doesn't know how security or arenas work, but I digress.
the thing about Trap, though, I wish the trailer like ruined everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish we would have done it where we didn't shoot it knowing that Josh Hartnett is the bad guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's let that be the twist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
we
let's
know
find
in like the first 10 minutes.
It just sucks. That to me was like a letdown, but I still enjoyed it enough. Old was definitely different. That's another one I'd have to revisit.
I could
That
do
was
a
like
whole video
yeah.
essay on Old.
Yeah, that was I was so hyped for that too, and I was really excited about it. And then like the ending, I'm like, what are we doing here? You know, he hits or misses, man. Like, I mean, at least I'll give it to the guy. At least he tries. I think he has a lot more gumption than other directors would. I think they wouldn't try to be as artistic. You know what I mean? I think they'd kind of be like, let's just err on the side of caution on this one. I think he kind of, sticks to his guns.
Nice guy too. From literally everything I've read about him, he is a severely he's just a all-around quality human being, which
Good.
I mean, subpar movies aside, like if you're like a nice guy to people, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance. And
Yeah.
I think that's like Shyamalan's had so many peaks and valleys. Like you could write a whole like biography on him, like an oral history of M. Night Shyamalan. I would read that day one.
For sure. But how many other directors would have closed shop up when they can't take it, when they put misses out after the big hits? You know what I mean? He still kept going. He still kept putting stuff out. Lady in the Water wasn't well received. He still kept going, happening, still going. You know, like he still kept rolling with it.
He's like Daffy Duck in that Robin Hood Looney Tunes one. He's like, yoinks and away, yoinks and away, yoinks and away.
He just kept, but how many would like keep going? Like other people would have folded it up, called it quits, folded up shop. You know what I mean? But I think he kept it going, and because of this, we got Glass, which I think is, or not Glass, Split, which was just a fantastic film. I put that in his top 5 repertoire easily. But you get the other ones with it too. You get the Glass and the other things. Trap was okay. I like Trap enough. Did you see his daughter's movie?
No, I was actually going to bring that up myself. I would like to. I've heard mixed things, but I mean, it's M. Night's daughter, so like I
liked it enough.
I want to see like if she has chops or not.
You can see definitely where she gets some of her creativity from, for sure. I'll leave it at that. But I liked it enough. It was serviceable enough. I wasn't anticipating the world. Obviously, she's a new filmmaker, so I wasn't thinking, oh, she's going to put out like 12 Angry Men or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I knew, she's new to the game, but definitely promising. I liked it enough. It was something different for sure.
Knight's first film was one he made in India called Praying with Anger. You can't watch it anywhere, like except for like YouTube links that are very very
hidden.
Bad. Like
really.
Like the quality is very crappy. And then after that, he made this one movie, and the title's escaping me right now, but it has Rosie O'Donnell in it.
Really? Wow, that's crazy.
Hang on, I got the curiosity's gonna kill me. I'm gonna find this thing because I reviewed all of Shyamalan's films in honor of Old like years ago. It was for Trap, I think. It was. But Wide Awake. That's what it is.
Wide Awake. Okay.
He made it in 1998, which is exactly 1 year away from Sixth Sense.
Crazy, man. Yeah, I bet he never even thought in a million years, like putting out a perfect movie like that as your first big movie out. That's crazy.
No, like Wide Awake has had like Dennis Leary, Rosie O'Donnell, like Julia Stiles is in it. So it's like,
that's crazy. That's like who's who of the 90s.
Everyone thinks Sixth Sense was like his first one, but it's like, no, he directed 2 others. But like one like is never talked about, and one is just completely memory hold for
which is crazy. You think that they would release that out to where you can get those?
I don't know. Like maybe I don't know if they can get Rosie O'Donnell over from Ireland anymore, but I guess maybe they'll find a way. Who knows?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like with the movie, why you couldn't release it out, you know?
Maybe it's a rights issue. There are a lot of rights issues these days.
Yeah, it could be. Who knows?
But when we cover Shyamalan at a later date, we'll have to revisit this. But I pass it off to all of you. What did you think of Quarantine 2 or The Visit? Let us know in the comments. We would love to read what you have to say. Next up on the Iceberg, which will be next week, we'll be covering another found footage gem that I've heard nothing but good things about. It is As Above, So Below, directed by John Eric Dowdle, who did direct Quarantine, but I've heard much better things about As Above, So Below. But we'll cross that bridge next week.
My stepdaughter Tage is a big fan of the film, so much so she has a tattoo on and above her knee, as above, so below. It's like it goes on top of the kneecap, below the kneecap.
Interesting.
Yeah, but she's a big fan of it. It'd be nice to revisit it because I remember not being overly impressed with it when I first saw it, but it's been a minute, so looking forward to revisiting this one.
But Russell, where can the people find you?
Yeah, Notorious by Chance is the Facebook group. Chance and I will be recording Schindler's List here sometime soon. In the meantime, YouTube has our Left Side, Strong Side. With football season going on, they're always recording and talking about the football season. So go ahead and give that a subscribe and listen. They put some good content out there. Especially if you're a sports fan. They always, Chance does it with Jacob and I believe Jeff, and they always kind of talk about, they break down the week of football and like, all sorts of stuff. So if you're a big NFL guy, check it out.
Yeah, all their links are down below. Go give them a subscribe over there. As far as this channel goes, Scary Mania 6 is ongoing. Russell's going to be a part of it. We're going to be talking about Poltergeist, which is an all-timer. So stay tuned for all of that. But for Russell, my name is Ryan Kim. We will see you all next week on the Horror Movie Iceberg. Y'all take care.